Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to do the orbit shot but with a close subject. So basically the first thing you want to do here is get your gimbal and make sure it's on pan mode. So let me take a peek here real quick. See, my gimbal's on pan mode. And so you've probably seen in a million videos that basically when you do pan mode, or when they show pan mode in these videos, these cinematic shot videos, it's pretty straightforward. All you do is you just hold the gimbal and you walk around the car. And so make sure you use your walking technique, where basically you've got your heel to toe is the walking technique, and you bend your knees to absorb the shock, and that way you can get the best shot without it being too much up and down when you're panning across. So that's great, but when you're trying to do a close subject, you can't do that. So basically what I'm filming today is my Tesla logo. And so what you can try and do is you can try and zoom in. So if I go like this and I zoom in here on the actual logo. So the problem with this is when you're doing a orbit shot with a big subject, you got to be like at least 5 feet in diameter, 5 feet in radius away from it, or else for it to work. And so when you try and do that with a close subject, you can't do it. So like I said, so if I zoom in, so I'm zoomed all the way in to my Tesla logo here. And the problem with zooming is that it's going to be shaky when you do it. So if I try doing it, so I got my logo here, and if I walk, it's really shaky. So the best way I found to do this with a close subject is what you want to do is either you want to either hold the gimbal perpendicular like this, or you can or normally you can do it at a 45-degree angle depending on the height of your subject. So since my Tesla logo is so low, I'm going to do it like inverted at a 45. And what you want to do is go ahead and get your gimbal angled. And the important thing to do is you want to basically treat your gimbal like a compass. So the back part of your gimbal here is going to be like your pencil that's going around, and the actual camera will be like the other point that stays stationary when you're making the circle. So that's the important part. And what you want to do also is you want to shift your weight from side to side. So that's going to help you keep your plane straight and flat, and it'll eliminate some of the up and down that doesn't look good when you're editing it. Also keep note that when you're doing close subjects for these type of orbital shots, it's going to look a lot better if you only do like half circle. If you try and do a quarter circle, if you try and do a full half circle, it's going to be really hard to keep your plane straight without it moving up and down. So it's a lot easier to do just a quarter circle. So I'll show you what it looks like on both, and it's, like I said, it's really difficult to do a full half circle without that plane going up and down. So if I try and do a full half circle here, so like I said, so you want to keep this as still as possible, and you're going to rotate the back of the gimbal like your compass and shift your weight. So if we try that again, assume the weight's on the right leg, gimbal shifts around from the back as you shift your weight. And hopefully when you slow it down in post-production, it'll look better because you can kind of get away with the up and down or the pan when you slow it down. But the more still you are, the better. And so this just takes a lot of practice, and I'm not even really that good at it. So let's say we do a quarter circle here. So stabilize your gimbal, shift your weight. There we go. So let's try that one more time. All right, so also your speed when you're doing the gimbal part also can play a factor. I film at 1080 60 frames, so obviously the faster you go, the faster you film, the faster you can kind of move your gimbal. So I try and just do it at medium speed for 60 frames, because when you slow that down, if you're going too fast, it's gonna look choppy because there's not enough frames. Let's go to the computer now, and I'll show you kind of what the end result looks like once it's, slowed down. So now we're at the computer, so I'm going to show you first the the classic orbital that I was talking about, with where you zoom in and it's shaky. So because you're zoomed in, you can't move as much. So if we play the original clip, so you can see it's kind of fast and kind of shaky. So if we slow that down, it does help. So there's a couple ways you can slow down your clip. You can do multiple speeds in the same clip. So that's what I've done with this one. So it's going to be slow, fast, and slow. So if we take a look at it, slowed down and fast, because that's kind of one of those things you see in TV and movies sometimes with these slowed down clips. So not too bad. Again, because I was zoomed in and stuff, it's kind of shaky. But kind of cool looking, not bad. So that's one way you can do it. I wouldn't recommend that way though. The better way is the way I'm showing you for this video is, when you get in nice and close and you use that technique, the compass technique, it comes out a lot better. So here's the full half circle. So this is the original clip that we took. It's actually over here. Okay, so not too bad. Again, I'm doing this kind of fast, so when you do it, take your time. That way you can make sure that your arms are stabilized and they're really still, because that's how you're going to get the best looking footage. So here it is slowed down. On this clip, I just slowed it down just all the same speed. That's normally how I do it, but of course that's just preference. So slowed down. As you can see, it looks better. I need to do a better job of keeping the subject in the middle of the frame there, but do it one more time. So not too bad. There's not too much up and down. The clip is pretty much on the same plane. But obviously that's when you slow it down, you can't see that as much. And so that's why these slowed down clips look kind of nice. But as I mentioned, doing a full half circle is kind of hard because you have to shift your weight so much and you're covering so much ground. So for me, the best way I think doing this type of clip, if you're going for a close subject, is that quarter circle. So if we take a peek at that clip in full speed. Here we go. Better. But again, I'm going fast, so take your time. And I'm actually going to use a different clip to show you another tool to help make the image look better. So if we do it in slow motion again, just all the same slow motion speed. You see, it doesn't look too bad. The up and down isn't as much there. Again, the plane is pretty much the same. And so if you're not happy with your clip and it's like you're shaky that day and you need more help, what you can do is image stabilize the clip in your editing software. So here's mine where you can edit the pan, tilt, and roll. Obviously, I'm not going to go over this because it's going to be different for your editing program. So when you do that, keep in mind the image is going to be zoomed in. You see how it just zoomed in there? So that's kind of one of the ways that the editing software helps you eliminate that up and down when you're panning. And so if we take a look at the clip again, now it's image stabilized. As you can see, it does look a little bit better. You don't really see that up and down anymore. This clip actually looks pretty good. But do keep in mind that if you are going to use image stabilization from your editing software for help, it does zoom in on the clip. So, if you want to compensate for that when you're actually filming, film a little bit farther away. And that way, when it's zoomed in, it looks real nice and clean, basically. nice and smooth. Yeah, this clip looks pretty good. And yeah, that's how you do the orbital technique, but with a close subject. So I hope this video helped you. If it did, don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for watching.